Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast, episode 245. I'm one of your hosts, Neo Ayoshi, and I'm here with Trip Zero.
That's me.
And Felix Hergood.
Felix Hergood. Hey, how you doing?
I was going to point, but then I realized that's not going to work.
You did the right
once
thing.
Again, we are all sitting from the comfort of our own homes doing a online show.
You are.
Very, very socially distant right now.
Very socially distant. How are you guys doing? How are you handling the new world that we are currently experiencing?
I'm not sick.
I'm not sick either.
Yeah,
Also,
I don't
not
have
sick.
I don't have symptoms, but like I said, I think last week and this week, I'm just assuming that I have coronavirus, but I have no symptoms. And this-
Would you just say it's all in your head?
No. I think I'm asymptomatic. I don't think it's all.
Oh, you legit think you are carrying something
Montgomery
right now?
County, where I'm residing right now, is full of people with cases of this shit. You know what I
You're
mean?
staring me.
But when I say that, I don't mean that the cases that I'm talking about are the people who are coronavirus. I'm saying they're people who have COVID-19, the advanced disease that you get from having coronavirus.
That is terrifying.
Neo, you're illustrating what I suspect about most Americans, that they don't fundamentally understand how viruses work.
I understand how it works. I'm just staying in my bubble, which is my
Let me
house.
put it in state of decay terms. State of decay
No, here it
2.
is. We are a video game podcast, so
There
I
is
This
a
works.
mechanic in state of decay because they have this disease called the blood plague in state of decay. I'm going to be real quick on this.
You're taking your turn right now. No, I'm kidding.
No. The
I know,
blood
I know.
plague, when
Okay.
your character gets the blood plague, when one of the members
Yeah.
of the blood
got
plague
the blood plague,
exists in
Pop.
the character, but they are not necessarily going to die. They don't even have a countdown to death. They could very well live and move on, right? But there's this little bar that shows up when you get the blood plague that if you fill it, you get a countdown to death, right? So I think I have the bar, but I don't have the countdown to death. So
Not yet.
I know this is all fun and games and stuff, but I really hope you don't. Like, legitimately don't.
that's what I'm
hope
saying.
that.
If I just social distance and
So this has been going on roughly for about 3 weeks, right? And people have been, fighting it more or less on top of it, whatever. But like, it's been going on for since November, to be honest. But as Americans, about 3 weeks is when people were like, "Oh shit," right? Roughly.
yeah.
And I was talking to you about this last week, Felix. That first weekend in March, like I was out all over Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Tons of bars, tons of restaurants, just one night. And like that was also the same day that they found like legitimate cases of COVID-19 in a neighboring county. So knowing like, oh my God, this thing lasts 14 days on surfaces. Oh my God, you may be
I don't know if it's that
asymptomatic and be a
high.
carrier.
I read
It's
an
14.
Is it 14?
It's 14. And they actually found RNA up to 17 days on that cruise ship that had an outbreak.
That's crazy.
So
All right.
sick, dude. But anyway, like the amount of potential carriers without knowing it at that point, I was like, there's no way that I just don't have it from being around that many people. Like, how do I not have it? Me and my friend were like, we definitely just are 1,000% sick. But I haven't gotten sick. Had a couple days of like, I don't know, garbliness. I don't know. I just don't know. And the fact that I don't know is driving this home even more.
My
Like,
job-
we need to keep doing this and like just staying away until we know that like either hospitals can handle the people that are getting sick, or we know that like the daily infection rate is not rising anymore, which it currently is every single day at an insane rate. So
My job.
just stay home, play video games.
Well, you're right. That's what I'm doing. My
Which
job.
we have been doing for sure.
Yeah.
My job interfaces with the public, and I had a family of 4 cough in my face. Like the whole family had like snot coming down their nose, and they were all like coughing that gross, disgusting, congestive hack right there.
God,
in my
I love
face.
it.
Right
I
there. in
love
my
it so
face.
much.
So,
God,
That's incredible.
and that was the week that our county had confirmed cases. That was the week that they had first said, "Oh, there's about 10 people here who have it." I'm like, okay, I got it. I got it.
Real fucking tight, man. That's so
Anyway,
cool.
Neo, I didn't mean to derail you.
No, this is good banter. I like it.
I mean, everyone's gonna be talking about this
Yeah, this
kind of
is
shit.
going to be unavoidable.
And
Pretty,
to answer your question, Trip,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it here on the podcast, you had asked me.
I asked Felix earlier. I said, "What motivated you to get your haircut?" Because this man is looking very different
you're
from a
just
week ago.
listening to the audio podcast, you are doing yourself a disservice completely. Check out the VOD or YouTube.
This man is
Definitely check out the VOD or YouTube.
this man is ready for
preferably
apocalypse.
YouTube, so you can pad
he
those numbers.
legit looks like Dr. Robotnik, and I think it's amazing. I think he would be a beautiful cosplayer. I think you should do it.
My answer to you was very simple. You know, like the Occam's razor answer was, I can't go to public places anymore to get a haircut, so this is the answer. I shaved it off.
And I was like,
I shot a tweet out today that was like, I legit need my haircut, and there's no way for me to do that. So I just expressed my
I'm about to Google like, how the fuck do you cut your own hair?
For real.
Or just do what I did.
I'm not shaving my whole head. There's no way I'm shaving my head.
There's no way. Not this beautiful head.
I've gone through this. Is, you know, it doesn't take an outbreak for me to lead to this result. I've done this numerous times. I think it's very freeing.
Don't take an outbreak.
I've cut all my hair off numerous times. I love the reaction of people when they see me. They go, all these different comments.
You're like Bruce Willis, man. You look good bald. Like, you can wear the hair. You don't have to.
Do it.
Pull it off.
Dude, what are your best? Besides the Dr. Robotnik? You got anything more? Any more ribbing? Any more?
I called you Bruce Willis.
What you look like?
Which is
that's either I look old or I look good bald.
You look good bald.
Good.
Yeah.
I said you look like a Snapchat filter. They put these like big beards on people's faces, and you look like a fucking Snapchat filter.
So
oh my god. Just before we continue, a little housekeeping. We're on YouTube. I finally got the video up today of last week's episode. Sorry about that. This week, past 2 weeks has been crazy.
There's been things
happening. I myself was a little bit busy planning with Ezrivs, who was on the show a few weeks ago, doing a 24-hour live stream for the charity Pause Your Game. That was this past weekend. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone from the emergent gamer community who came out. You guys were a bunch of bros. I know a lot of you did come out. You donated. You're going to get t-shirts for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I definitely did.
Yeah, so yeah, you should be getting contacted by Ezrivs, who is now the social. She's like the event coordinator for them now. After that, she got hired by them, which is pretty sweet.
You wouldn't read my name on the podcast.
I think we did.
No,
no, I did. I read your message. It was good.
I put my message was tame. My message was just like, whatever, I'm contributing or whatever.
It was a reference to the time we played Jackbox
together.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
The name Felix PP Huge.
I
just heard Neo go, "Oh, I'm not reading that." It was
funny. But yeah, thank you to everyone who came out. We raised $1,650, so it was pretty good cause for saving animals, providing shelter for them, ending no kill.
Can you repeat specifically? Did you already say who the group is?
Pause Your Game.
Pause Your Game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're called. And yeah, they're dedicated to helping providing animal shelters with a place where they don't have to kill them, and socializing animals that need to be socialized so they can get homes. And that's what we need. We need to do something good. And I think that came at a really good time, specifically for the time that we're in currently, because we can all do a little bit. We can help with that positivity, and that was really nice. And I really enjoyed doing first ever live stream, by the way. I've never.
I don't even know how you did
24
I don't know how you did 24 hours, dude.
We did 27 hours.
How much sleep did you get?
It takes a lot. It takes a lot out of you. I've done 2 of them for Destiny releases.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. We took 2 breaks. I took a break in the middle of the stream, and then I switched with Ezrivs. I played Animal Crossing during that time. I played Doom Eternal, games I'm about to start talking about.
Oh, yeah. I was about to ask how Doom Eternal was, but we're going to hear about it on the show.
Oh, you for sure are. But the main course, the coup de grace, is going to be Half-Life Alyx, which I also did play. But anyway, housekeeping's out of the way. Thank you for listening about Pause Your Game and the live stream, which I really enjoyed doing. So cool. I'm going to hop right into the games I've been playing, and I'm going to start with Call of Duty Warzone real quick. It's a new battle royale game.
A lot of people have been talking about it. Coming into my stream asking me why I'm not playing it.
It dropped because it's the hotness right now, and everyone. Here's the thing: it's a free game, right? You just download the client and you can just play it, which is why it's probably popping off like Apex Legends did.
So they followed that same model. That's cool. That's
right,
smart.
right, which they didn't do for Blackout, which was last year's Battle Royale version. Now, the question I'm going to have to ask is, are they going to support it like someone like Apex Legends would support their game? Because the problem with Call of Duty games is after the year is over, they move support over pretty much to the next Call of Duty game. So the question that stands is this going to be forgotten like Blackout was? Because that stopped getting support the moment Modern Warfare came out, pretty more or less. But anyway, the only thing I want to talk about is they did something really unique with the system of Battle Royale. What that happens is with your team, if you die the first time, what happens is they throw you in a place called the Gulag. And once you get thrown into the Gulag, you get pitted on one-on-one matches with a randomized weapon, and you fight your way back into the battlefield. So if you win this 1v1, you get thrown back in. You can also buy back people who are dead on your team, which is an interesting dynamic. So you can potentially die multiple times in this Battle Royale and get revived by a teammate or yourself through the Gulag.
Nice.
It's a very fast-paced game, and I actually really like the pacing of it. It's even faster than Apex Legends, I want to say, because you can just be going. A second game mode that they added is called Plunder, which is kind of like a Battle Royale mode, but what happens is you have to collect a lot of money. It's 150 players, and you're just essentially hoarding cash and sending cash up through balloons or hot spots in the area where everyone congregates to fight. And it's fun because you don't really, it's not like a one hit, once you're dead, you're out. You can get respawned back in. And it's pretty good. Me and Ezra have been playing it a lot, and we've got third in that. So that was pretty cool.
Nice, dude. Out of how many people again?
150 people in Plunder, specifically in the Plunder mode. Funny enough, I did get my first win in the Warzone mode, which is the Battle Royale mode, but not with Ezrivs. I got it with friends of the podcast, Tim, who's in the server doing Smash League. We got our win that way, so that was pretty funny. Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about with that because
you're playing it because you're playing with Ezrivs. You're playing on PC.
Yeah, I'm playing it a lot. Yeah, it's on PC. It's on every console.
You're right.
You can play it wherever, but I'm playing a lot of it because it's a good multiplayer game to play right now. Being the social distancing, but we can still do things together and all that good stuff.
Yeah, games like that are going to be the move for sure.
Oh, and they came out at the perfect time because everyone started to get, forced, into quarantine. Well, I'll use that lightly, forced. The next game I've been playing or started playing is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Sequel to The Blind Forest, 2D side-scrolling platformer, Metroidvania style game.
Oh yeah.
I've only played about 3 hours of it, unfortunately. I need to play more of it for sure, but from my first impressions, the game it's beautiful. Like the soundtrack, the art style, the watercolor-esque style that it has, it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's breathtaking to play. The movement feels amazing. Like everything you do is just so fluid. The animations look so fluid. I cannot stress enough how good this game is, and I feel so bad that it's coming out in a time where I have 2 other games that have taken over my attention.
It's been on a lot of pop on a lot of streaming platforms.
Yeah. I
think a lot of people playing it for sure.
It's definitely a game I need to beat because I loved the first one so much. The first one I pretty much cried at the end of it because it had an emotional peak to it, and it was beautiful. From the sound, the score, just it swells up, it tugs at your heartstrings so effortlessly.
I can definitely get that on Game Pass.
It is. That's how I got it. It's on Game Pass.
The original one's on there, and then the sequel's on there as well.
Correct. Yeah, you can do both. You can get both of them. I would suggest if you want to play it and you want to you would do the first one first because the mechanics they've improved in the second one greatly. It's just a better feeling game. Because they've learned, right? They've learned from their first game, which is beautiful. So now let's hop into the meat of what I wanted to really talk about, which is Doom Eternal.
Yes.
A lot of people have been coming in the stream and basically saying,
you should be playing this.
I'm playing this. You should be playing this. It's the best fucking game.
It's really fun and it's really, really, really good. Absolutely, really, really good. So but what I'll say about it is because this past October I beat 2016, so I'm like still kind of like fresh on the.
Yeah, it's pretty recent, honestly, for a sequel.
This October I beat the 2016 Doom.
That's what I mean. Like you played it and you're pretty fresh on the original game for the sequel to come out like now.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. And I can tell you right now, they do the same thing where they start you off and you're going 100 miles an hour. Like they just throw you into it and they just want you to shoot stuff and kill stuff. They've kind of shoehorned a story a little bit more into this version, this sequel, I guess you could say, because the first one, pretty much the story took a back seat and they just focused on the action, the gameplay, the locomotion that you will get into when you're playing as the Doomslayer, and just the sheer violence and momentum that you get in. In this one, they do the same thing, and it seems like they do tweak a lot of how the game wants you to like progress. So they had a huge focus. The last game did this, but they're doing it a lot more in this one, where what they'll do is you'll run out of ammo with a weapon. So in order to get your ammo back, you need to chainsaw an enemy. They drop, they crap out ammo everywhere. You get your ammo. Your health is constantly being taken away from all the enemies in the area. So in order to get your health back, you do a melee finisher on enemies, and you
so
do
they
that
really kind of like make you flex out your play style in different ways.
Right. So like they go, okay, so you're doing like chainsaw, shoot, melee kill, shoot, chainsaw, switch your gun, because they start you off with a small pool of ammo. And I'm noticing that they're doing this to kind of get you to use all the weapons and kind of like get you to like just go through your whole inventory of what you have. And right away they give you like a grenade launcher that has a recharging grenade. Like you don't pick up grenades, like it'll just come back after like 10-15 seconds.
Right.
You get a shoulder mounted flamethrower, and when you use that on enemies, also recharging by the way, when you use that on enemies, enemies will start crapping out like armor shards. So like you're constantly going like flamethrower, grenade, and then enemies have weak points. So like grenade in the mouth of the big ball dudes, like the big ball eye, they got the single eyeball, the famous Doom enemy.
Yeah.
They got the big eyeball, and then you shoot a grenade in their mouth and they explode. Then you can melee finish them, and then like you're going through this like motion of shooting, and then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a whole
saying it has a cadence.
The battling.
Right. And another thing I've noticed very heavily is they're also added multiple upgrade systems. And by multiple, I mean like you'll upgrade your guns with different things. You'll upgrade your Doom Slayer with certain perks. You'll upgrade your there's a lot of different currencies and upgrade things that you need to like be aware of, because you're constantly looking for things to upgrade, right? Like there's always something. Like you'll get your shotgun will shoot a grenade, right? Like you can get a mine shooting. Then that could be upgraded to be like, well, I can use it 15% more often now, right? Or like it'll do 45% more radius damage, like, and you're just going deeper and deeper.
Are there only gun upgrades, or are there gun and like character buff upgrades? Like what's the different kind of categories you can grow in this game?
Yeah, so you have the gun upgrades, and you'll find a specific one in the world. You'll find a box that will upgrade your gun. Like it'll be like a gun upgrade thing. And then every so often you'll earn through finding things in the world, you'll find upgrades for the guns, skills that you unlock. Then you'll find specific power-ups and items in the world that will upgrade the Doomslayer. So throughout like the first like 2 or 3 hours of the game, they're like slowly feeding the Doomslayer more abilities. Like for example, you'll get the this like fist upgrade that will, after every melee finisher that you get, you'll fill up a gauge, and then that gauge will cause your next melee finisher to cause a small explosion and blow up everybody around you, right? So like that's like one physical upgrade that you'll get. But you'll also get like a rune style system where you'll implant upgrades into your Doomslayer, and you'll be able to swap them out the more you upgrade. So like two I've unlocked are you can finish melee finishers like 50% faster. So like you'll just bam, and like you're done. You're on to the next thing. Like it's all about speed, right? Or you'll get one that's like I'll melee. When I do a melee finisher, I'll get 50% better range at hitting him. So like if he's like I don't know, like 20 feet away from me, and I'm like moving toward him, I will get that melee finisher at the
like you get yanked like to the thing. Yeah.
Correct. So there's a shit ton of that. Other things that they've added from the previous one is they've added wall climbing. Certain walls will be able
nice.
to climb, and they've added a double jump and a like air sprint,
Oh shit.
like an air dash. So like you'll be able to like jump, sprint, jump. Like you can the mobility is
yeah.
Go
It sounds really, really cool because the most recent AGDQ had a speed run of Doom 2016, and it sounds like there's even more movement tech in this one, which will make other speed runs really, really cool. And I love watching that kind of stuff.
By the end of 2016, they do give you like a double jump, air jump, but in this one, they gave it to you like pretty much within the first hour or two. So that leads me to believe there's like more later, like more.
Oh yeah, that's a good point for sure.
Go ahead, Felix.
How open was it? Is it
it's linear, but you have a hub world that you hang out on, and you can choose where you want to land, and then you can explore those areas. So like, the game will essentially
like
fish
Destiny?
you. Like, yeah, more or less. Not as open as Destiny ends up being, but you'll get thrown into an area that will kind of like it'll like lead you through the corridors to the where you need to go. Right, essentially, and then you can revisit the areas if you want to find more upgrades, and like because it opens it up on your map, like you'll see where upgrades are hidden, and you can go back for your upgrades. You don't have to miss anything. Unlike in 2016, once you're gone, the chapter's over, kind of thing. Like you can't go back. You missed it essentially.
The air dash, double jump were features that existed in Rage, so I think I think they were probably
id Tech definitely used
reappropriated for that as well. So.
For sure. They also added like contextual things, like if I jump to like a bar, like they make it very clear, like there's like a pole that you can like swing on, like you'll jump, swing, and it'll give you like a boost forward. So like the game's all about it's the antithesis of like a Division or a Call of Duty, where they force you to like use your cover and use like that's what this game is. Doom is the game.
All out in the open, spraying, shooting, smashing, ripping.
Correct. Like the only way to keep yourself alive is to do that. Like you need to constantly be getting health and ammo. They want you to. You're a murder machine. Like that's if you want that kind of game. Like hell yes, play that game. I will definitely be playing more of it if I can. Do you guys have any more questions about Doom?
No, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Doom sequel. Like they added on to what they've established in 2016, and it's pretty cool.
I have installed on the Xbox. I have the 2016. Yeah, well, with an intention to play it, so I'm sure I'm going to meet it one of these days.
Oh hell, I mean, I definitely think you would enjoy that game, Felix, because it's a game that just asks you to be crazy. It just asks you to go nuts. Also rage inducing, because there are lots of moments where you'll die because you get overwhelmed, or you like it's. What
did they give you? Like 4 difficulties. One of them's called like Total Carnage, or
yeah, it's like 100%
horror movie level death.
Absolutely, it's indeed that is what they do.
It's got like triple skulls. They're all on fire. And the whole soundtrack.
I normal because I don't feel like stressing myself out.
The whole soundtrack, I presume, is like grindy metal.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! It's awesome.
Yeah, the soundtrack of the first game was so awesome.
It's rocks, dude. I've
never played it, but I have the soundtrack and I've listened to it many times.
You feel it, like you feel like you're just ripping and tearing, and this metal soundtrack is blaring behind you, and you're just like, "Fuck yes, I am."
It's like
I am the slayer of demons.
It's good music too. It's not just like bullshit, fucking heavy metal riffs just for the sake of it. It's like really well written songs.
Yeah.
I'd probably play it, and I'd put on like Karen Carpenter.
Oh, you totally that's exactly what you would do.
Oh my god!
I would tear the music down in the game if they even allowed it. They probably don't allow it.
I want you to know I could never do.
Oh, they definitely would. Yeah.
I could never like maybe the second time I play through a game, I could play like music behind it, but the first time I want to hear the soundtrack and the sounds that they've put into the game.
I remember I made a.
I can't.
Horizon Zero Dawn came out, and I was playing it, and I had the music off, and then I made a soundtrack with Horizon Zero Dawn music in it, but then I also added in like the Game of Thrones theme, and I was killing one of the big, huge dinosaur-looking things, and the Game of Thrones theme was going, and somebody was like, "I can't believe they got the rights to Game of Thrones for Horizon Zero Dawn," and I was like,
wow.
I was like, "Yeah, I can't believe it either." It's so amazing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's funny. Anyway.
But I'm with you though, Neo. Like I need I need to hear the game's original audio because that's part of the design of the game.
But like, I mean, like, it's understandable, like with like Animal Crossing, which we'll talk about in a bit. But you were playing like a chill soundtrack today in your stream, and it's a different kind of like feel. You've already played it multiple days. You know what the island soundtrack sounds like.
Right, exactly.
Well, for State of Decay 2, I turn off the fucking horror music soundtrack because it is terrifying. That soundtrack
it's the
is
idea,
terrifying.
right?
It is. It is the idea, but Jesus, dude.
They want you to know.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's scurry.
That's Doom Eternal. But the game that I'm really happy to talk about with you guys right now is Half-Life Alyx.
Oh yeah, dude.
A game I've been highly anticipating. I bought a S for this. And guys, I need you to know, especially Trip, because you also have a headset. This is 100% worth the purchase of.
Wow, dude! It's only a matter of time until I scoop it. Honestly, all the clips that I saw you playing, and I'm not going to steal any of your thunder, other than to say like it looked smooth as hell and just like a wild experience.
It's by far a game that my PC's the requirements it asks the most of my PC, and I'm surprised at how optimized it is that it runs so smoothly, especially when I was streaming the game as well, which takes a lot of chunk of my computer power to do at the same time. Yeah. I don't even know where to begin to describe to you how cool it is to not only be back in the Half-Life universe, because that alone is something I would have never thought to have spoken in, how long has it been? 15 years.
I know, like we all joke about it, like Half-Life 3, but like we always had an understanding that it was never going to happen ever. We just love to keep joking about it. You know?
I resigned myself to accept that years ago.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I would replay Half-Life 2 every year. Back in December, when I was taking my vacation, I beat Black Mesa in anticipation for this, because this is a prequel to Half-Life 2 and technically it's an interstitial game between the Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. So it takes place between it. And let me tell you, first off, Black Mesa, fantastic remake of Half-Life 1. It is
I'm pretty sure I have all of that stuff.
You probably
like a big bundle. Like I bought it like years ago just to have them all.
Which one was on the orange box?
Half-Life 2 and the episodes, all the episodes of it.
Okay.
So the two like DLC chapters as well.
That's what I did Half-Life 2 then.
Yeah, which one of my favorite games of all time for sure. The game, it was a masterclass in level design, like world puzzles, and it took Half-Life like only comes along when they know they have something to show technology wise. And when 2 came out, well, let's start with 1. When 1 came out, they brought with them a narrative design that we have not seen before, and a way of world building and puzzles that most games weren't doing. It was Doom at the time.
They are now based on the original model of Half-Life.
For more or less, it's evolved since then. But yes, Half-Life 2 brought with it the physics engine, which is very key in Half-Life Alyx, which I'm going to get to in a moment. But they brought a gun called the gravity gun into existence, which lets you use the world's physics. So you could pick up like saw blades, shoot them through enemies, and it would cut them in half and pin them to walls. And this was something that was completely new at that time. Games were not doing that. And it was beautiful. Like the game still carried on with its narrative way of storytelling. And it was beautiful. What's your experience, Trip, with Half-Life? You've played these games?
I've played half of. I don't even know if half is the right word. Some of 1. I felt like it was half of 1, and I know I was like, I need to like play this just because like as someone who is in the gaming space, I feel like I've done myself a disservice for not actually experiencing these. So like I played a couple. Maybe a couple years ago. I think it was actually one of the first games I touched after I built my PC for the first time, like my main gaming PC. So I have Half-Life 1 experience, and from the very beginning, dude, you can tell this game was different for its time. The way that it tells a story, the way it illustrates with cutscenes, with putting you in the moment. It's like there's games that are out around the same year have nothing on Half-Life. It's insane. Yeah, and you can tell that even crazy. If you play a quarter of the game, you know. Yeah,
it's fantastic. So coming on to Half-Life Alyx, coming straight out of Black Mesa, which was a fully modernized redesign of Half-Life 1. Not done by Valve, by the way. Valve gave them their blessing, which is amazing.
That is cool. Yeah.
It just came out in 1.0 like a month ago, I want to say. But anyway, Half-Life Alyx. Oh my god.
Yeah, where do you even start?
You put the headset on, and they put you into City 17, which is the main location of Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
And they just throw you right into what the world is. And I can't describe how it is to put the headset on and like look.
And yeah, be turning your head, looking around at everything.
And they have the giant walkers walking by you and everything. It's nuts. It's just absolutely nuts. They give you an item called they call them the Russells, because Rhys Darby's the actor from Flight of the Conchords. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. He's the one with the glasses?
He's the manager of Flight of the Conchords. Remember him?
I don't know which one's which, but I know Flight of the Conchords. So I have two faces in my brain.
Not Brett, not Britt.
The other one's Jermaine Dupri, right? Isn't that his name?
Not Jermaine. It's not either of them. It's the manager.
Don't know.
That guy. He is the guy, the talking voice in your head throughout the game. And he gives you the Russells, which are the gravity gloves. And let me tell you, they solved how to do their physics in VR. Because what you do is you just point your wrists at an object and you grab the grip on the controller.
It draws like a little line to it, right? So you know like what you're interacting with.
It kind of highlights it a little bit too, and then you just flick your wrists up. It comes to your hand and you grip it, and that's it. So you're walking around this world and you're looking at things. Oh, there's a magazine on the ground there. So you flick and you grab the magazine and you put it in your gun, or you throw it in your backpack, and you're just walking around doing this.
Yeah, it seems really smooth.
It's beautifully smooth. And not only that, the guns are very cool, because you'll look at your handgun and you can see the amount of ammo everything is done in HUD. Like everything, there's no HUD. So you look at your wrists, you got your life, you have how many resins you've collected, which upgrades your weapons, and you get a flashlight on your wrist later, which is a thing that you'll have, and you can point it with your wrists. Your gun, for example, your handgun will show the amount of bullets on your clip. You can eject it and look at the clip and see how many bullets are in that clip.
You can look actually and see how many are in your clip?
Correct. Yes. And it'll turn red when it's empty. And later in the game, you'll get things like you'll upgrade your gun to do you'll have a reflex sight that'll highlight enemy weak points, which is pretty sweet. So it makes it easier to aim the gun. And another cool upgrade for the handgun is they give you like a 10 bullet reservoir. So what you'll do is you'll feed your gun and it will feed the clip into the reservoir. You'll eject it and then put another clip in, and then you'll see the clip go. It's all very detailed.
Wow.
The shotgun, you'll flick it forward to load shells in, and contextually, since you don't know really how much you have stored in your backpack unless you look at your item menu, she'll go last 3 shells. And she'll contextually go last 3 shells. You'll load your handgun. She goes, I got 3 left. I got two magazines left. And she'll tell you, remind you.
That's insane, dude. Not to tangent too much, but
yeah, go ahead.
How does it compare to your other VR experience? The one you were talking about that was super, super hyper realistic. The one you're talking about a grip for and stuff?
Pavlov VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually going to bring it up in this specifically. I think it's on par. Pavlov is really good at showing us realistic guns.
Yeah.
And just portraying those guns realistically. But even in this case, you still have to load the magazine and pull back on the slide to load the handgun.
Got it.
To make sure it works.
Yeah.
Unless there's already a bullet in the chamber, then you don't need to worry about it. It knows all that.
That's really cool.
The one thing that I would have liked to see, but they chosen not to do this, was I wanted to be able to put my handgun away on my belt or something, or you don't do that. You hold down the right stick and you select from a menu what gun you want to pull out, or your puzzle tool, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, there's
not getting a full menu. Workout, were you, Neo?
It's giving you a workout. Believe me, I played this on my feet for
no, I was
5
saying
hours at first.
I was saying you're not getting the workout you wanted. You also wanted to do the motion with the
I wanted to holster the gun and pull it out. Yes. But I understand why they did this, because right now I have a total of 3 guns and a multi-tool. So I don't know how they would accomplish that. They've seemed to have thought about this very deeply, which shows throughout the level design of this game. It's just everything puzzle-wise that you do using the gravity gloves, and your weapons it's fantastic. Not to mention your multi-tool, which, let me tell you, They have some really cool puzzles they did in 3D.
I saw one clip that you put in there.
Which one was it? The orb? Was it like one of the orb ones?
It was when you tossed a grenade into a vent.
Yep, they did that. But by the way, grenades really fun. You click a button on your controller and it like pops the grenade's casing off and it glows red like in Half-Life games previous. And then you just throw it. You just throw it like you would in like a real ball. And let me tell you, it feels real good to blow up something. But yeah, you saw the one clip of me going, "Oh, how do I get in this room? There's an upgrade station in there and an enemy and a explodey barrel." Well, they're showing me everything I need to know about what they need me to do. And they gave me a chest full of grenades and an empty vent. So I just tossed it right in there. Boom. It worked out. And that's like kind of like Half-Life in a nutshell. They like do all that kind of like world hinting and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, let me what else can I talk about in this? There's a lot to put together because I played this for like 5 hours, like straight up without taking a break.
Yeah.
And I had to take like a 10-minute break because my head hurt.
Story-wise, does it fill in any gaps? Does it make you excited as a fan of the story of the Half-Life universe?
So far, it has not done that. There have been world clues to like Gordon Freeman, which I noticed. I'm not going to spoil what I saw, but if you watch my stream, you would have seen me point it out. Like I'd have been like, "Oh, look what they did there. They did it. This is a direct reference to this." And funny enough, that area had a puzzle. In order for me to solve it, I had to activate a thing, and I had to actually look at this object at the right angle to see the solution to a puzzle I was in front of. So I was like stuck for a minute, but because I'm in VR, they decided to use, from this angle, if I lean or like look at it in this way, that's the puzzle solution would present itself.
Right.
Making
Which is smart because I mean, not to cut you off, but like in VR design, you have to think like, you're not just looking at a screen the same exact way a player would be. A player could be looking not only positionally different, but I mean, visually, there's so many different ways you have to think about how to even build a puzzle, let alone signal how to solve it. It's got to be such an incredible challenge versus just a game where you control, pretty fluidly a player's experience and sightline and even, what they can interact with at any given time.
100%. And actually they said in a few interviews, they said this game would only have worked in VR because of the way the ideas that they had were VR based.
Yeah.
Right. So like that requires a different tool set and a different mindset for creating these puzzles.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, the other Half-Life games did it too. They did it with physics, but now they're combining that with the act of you wearing the headset, and they made it work. They also had to adjust some things, like enemies don't come at you in large waves like they used to in the other Half-Life games, because
so it's more manageable.
It is way more manageable. Like I would fight like 3 combine at once, maybe 3 head crabs at once, depending. They'll surround me with zombies at certain points, but they always make sure that I'm not being like overwhelmed where it's unfair. Right.
It's enough to like handle. Yeah.
That's why Borderlands 2 for me was not a good port at all.
How so?
I did that on PSVR, and on PSVR. The enemies have a tendency to crowd you. Problem is when they crowd you, they get close to you and they disappear from they're in a blind spot essentially. So you're constantly, what you always have to do when you play this game in VR is you have to shoot yourself away from the enemy groups who try to horde on you. But the game is just playing like it played always. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. They didn't change any of the design philosophies of it.
No.
Yeah.
The design philosophies are exactly what they were when the game was designed, and that they had no anticipation of it being a VR game at that point. So
for sure. I'm trying to think of other things I want to talk about with this, but another thing, there's one section of the game where they fully throw you in it, because it does at certain points become like kind of horror like, and they'll throw you in very dark corridors, and like even Alyx will say like, "Oh, this is very creepy," and then shit will jump out at you from the dark. Bodies.
Like really, did you actually get scared? Did you jump?
Yeah. There were a few moments. I think I got to clip it out still, but like there are a few moments where I legit like went like like oh, I can't believe that just jumped out at me. They have you. This really cool thing that they do in this one area was they have you this dilapidated apartment building you're fighting through. It was one of the last things I did the other night. and you're fighting your way down, and you find the door that's being blocked, and it's being blocked by one of the Combine force fields, which is powered. So you fight your way down through this hallway, and like there's head crabs everywhere, and they're crawling out from the walls, like they're coming in endlessly, and you're fighting your way down them, and you get these alien grenades at a certain point, which are pretty fun, and they just spawn from a growth in the wall. I don't know how else to explain it, but that's
it sounds it's the best you could do.
And they spawn endlessly, and the fun thing about them is, I'll just real quick, when you reach for it, it'll kind of like it's being held by like a little claw hand, and like it'll try and like keep it from you, right? So like you got to be quick about it, so you have to swipe at it like real fast to get the grenade out of its hand. And it's a fun little
yeah,
like,
I mean it makes it more immersive. And dude, like the VR tracking that we have now is it's 1-to-1. Like you can actually literally catch something if you have a helmet on.
Oh, for sure. You do it, and you do that all the time. That's what this game is. You're just catching things. You're pulling things. You're catching things. So a thing that I like to do is you have 2 pocket dimension pockets, I guess you could call.
Sure.
You can drop syringes that heal you in, or grenades or items. It's pretty cool, and you'll pull them out from your wrist. It's fucking.
How many
fantastic.
hours did you play it?
I think I'm like 6 or 7 hours in.
But no, how
so
many in a single game session? How long could you play it?
I think
before
I played
you got burned out.
Before I started to get like a headache.
Yeah.
I think I did like 4.5 hours, and then I took like a 20-minute break on stream, just chilling, and then I put it back on to keep going.
Okay.
But yeah, it does. After a while, you're like, okay, I'm getting fatigued mentally. But anyway, as I was fighting through this hallway, what they did was that you fought your way down it to get to the power source. You cut the power, and all the lights in this scary fucking apartment building cut out. So now you fight your way back in the dark. And I found myself doing things like, okay, I don't have any more room in my pockets, so I'm gonna just hold this grenade on me and just carry it until I need it. And like I would do
just
that.
ready to go at any moment. Yeah.
And you could do things like, okay, I'm gonna put it down here because I know I'll be able to grab it from here later, right? Like I can use my gloves to like throw it to my hand and then use it. So even though I only had 2 slots to carry things, I'm using everything in the environment to my advantage. Like I'll grab a chair, throw it at a head crab, right? Like, and make sure like you're doing all these crazy things that the experience is wild. Is pretty much
sounds like it, dude. And I'm going to be in there one day.
I think you should. I think everyone who has a VR headset should. This is the killer app, as they say. This is the thing. They Valve has done what they want. They set out to do, and they made the VR game. The VR game that says, yes, besides Beat Saber, I need this. This is the game that you need to try if you have a VR headset. That and Beat Saber, I think, are on the same. Like,
so you think it's a full game? It's going to be like a full experience?
Well, all reviews are saying it's about 15 hours.
15 hours.
Which to me sounds like a full experience. If an Uncharted game is like 10 to 12 hours, yes, absolutely. So like even Valve was like, this is a full Half-Life game. Like they're not pulling their punches with
it's great.
The
That's the real deal.
Which when we're done this, I'm probably gonna play it a little bit more. I'm gonna pop it back on because I want to fling stuff with my hands and shoot. It's great. It's just a fantastic experience. I can't wait to finish it and like see if there's any kind of revelation or anything like that.
Right.
I have talked enough about this, but I hope I got the point across that Half-Life Alyx is cool.
Sounds great, dude.
I really love your enthusiasm.
I think if we ever get out of this quarantine, you should come over and play it.
I want to come over and play it. It's very realistic.
I think it's worth.
It's very more realistic that I'll come to where you live because you're closer to me than Trip Zero. But Trip Zero, I'm not holding it out. I might make it there one day. I don't know when.
One day, dude. One day.
Hey, I've seen the setup. It's pretty sweet.
I know.
I've seen it.
But either way, I mean, I should come to one of your places and play it because I haven't had a genuine
the real VR experience.
I haven't had a genuine VR experience that has the right resolution and what did you call it earlier? The 1-to-1.
The 1-to-1 movement.
Just like the movement tracking.
Yeah, movement tracking at 1-to-1 and like the highest possible resolution you can get, all that stuff. Like I didn't get by playing the PSVR, and it gave me a fucking headache. I want to see if I get a headache playing on yours.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I was asking time limits. Like
the Rift S is a like mid-range headset. The Index being the $1,000 headset that Valve makes is, I would say, the optimal solution. But I am very satisfied with my experience on the Rift S. It looks good and it plays good.
Yeah, all I can do is come over at some point and see. You know what I mean? Like, see if I get the same headache I got when I was on the VR, and then we'll know it's a VR thing, and I shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely do that, dude. Let's move on to who's next. Felix?
Yes, it's me. Yeah,
What you got?
I mean, I'm gonna be pretty brief. I mean, I do what I do at this point, but
What
I
does that
will.
mean,
I
do?
look.
I know.
I do what I do. Fallout 76. But look, here's the point. The point is I did get burned out. I burned myself out this week.
Good for you.
You
I'm
want
so
to
proud
burn
of you.
yourself out?
Yeah,
I'm so proud.
Trip. Do you want to know what I burned myself out on?
Oh God, what?
Not playing on
What'd you
two
do?
consoles. I was having no problem playing on two consoles. I
Uh-huh.
burned myself out on the workshop or the camp creation tool.
Oh,
I downloaded for money, well, not money, but like atoms that I am paying for.
And this.
I
You
downloaded.
can trace this
the
back
currency.
to money.
You can trace it back to money. I downloaded a greenhouse like kit, like a bundle that gives you a legit greenhouse. First off, I had a ragey over to blown moment on the PS4 where
Okay.
I assumed that this package only came with a greenhouse with a concrete floor. So like, and I got very angry on my stream, yelling, I can't believe how impractical this is.
Wait, you?
Right. I jumped to a lot of conclusions, made a lot of generalizations about developers, as per usual. Okay, but hey, you're all in the camp of applying that to Todd Howard. I'm doing it too, but I'm just late to the party. But anyway, I thought they had given me a greenhouse with only a concrete floor and no planters to plant my corn and shit into. And I was like, what's the point of this? Like, there's a bunch of pre-made plants that you made for me that I'm just going to put in this room and just have this aesthetic-looking greenhouse that means nothing, that does nothing. So I got very angry at that. But then a guy on Reddit goes, yeah, dude, you just, when you're in the menu, you just hit the D-pad to the right, and it's there. To get a greenhouse that goes on a dirt floor is what I needed. And I didn't know. I just hit D-pad over, and there it is. But I had this moment where I crumbled, and I kind of I bounced back from it live on stream, and I continued playing something else. But I was really fucking angry at that moment. Then do it on Reddit later. So I come back in the next day, and I'm playing it again, and I go to try and plant this thing that I got from the store.
Yeah.
And it would be green. The game would the workshop tool, when it says that you can plant something, it's green, right? It would be green, and I would hit the button, and it would say can't place. And I got so fucking mad that I rage quit my stream. Like, I mean, I was getting to the point where it was later in the afternoon.
You shut your stream off.
Oh, I
You
shut
shut
it
your
off.
stream off
I
for
said,
this.
fuck this. Fuck you, Todd Howard, and I
Stream
cannot
is
fucking play.
over.
Look, I was just fucking angry that the game has so much jank. Like, this was the thing that he said online. This kept going over in my head. He's like, it just works. It just works. It just works. And I basically was like, this doesn't fucking work. And then I quit the stream. The reason why I was playing it so much this weekend is because coronavirus happened. And then I tweeted this. So this is
happened.
This is the path, right? Coronavirus happens. Then I tweet Pete Hines and I go, you should probably have a coronavirus-specific double XP weekend. I think I said week. I didn't say weekend.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, then I got this message on Thursday. I looked and realized I had double XP on my character. And I went, what the hell's going on? I go to the official Fallout Twitter, and I see we got double XP. Pete Hines is listening to me. The
You made it
motherfucker is
happen,
listening
Felix.
to me. I made it happen. I willed it with my soul. But he also responded to numerous tweets. He's been liking my tweets. I don't know what's happening with Pete Hines, but
You're best friends, obviously.
we're
sent you
best
an
friends.
interview.
We're soulmates.
I sent you. Remember, like a couple weeks ago, I sent you an interview of Pete Hines and Greg Miller.
Yeah, I loved
They
it.
did.
I loved it. I
And-
watched the whole thing.
Oh yeah, it was great. On that interview, he said he was asked about how
Yes,
he
that's why I
responds on
started
social
tweeting
media.
him. That's why I started
Right.
tweeting him.
And yeah, his response was, he's like, look, I don't care. I don't listen to the negative bullshit because they don't play the game.
Right.
They're not the people I do this for. I listen to the people who legitimately want the game to be good. And if you talk to me about that. I will respond to you and we'll make it happen. And you've legit had that experience.
You're wrong about one thing. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
He contradicted himself because here's what he said. He said specifically, I think he said specifically, you can go back and watch the video and determine what he said specifically. I remember him saying, I may not respond to you on Twitter.
Okay, yeah.
Right? But I will take what you said and then go back to the development team and say, have you guys thought about this? Something to that effect. It's paraphrasing.
Yeah,
well,
no,
that's
yeah,
a
I remember now,
contradiction to what he's doing because he's responding to every tweet I'm fucking doing. Every time I tweet at him, he likes it or fucking says, yeah, dude.
That's a great
Felix,
interaction, though.
Felix, we've all got a lot of time right now, so he's making the best out of it.
He's got downtime. He's sitting in his study. Oh, God, this Felix Hergood guy has hit me again.
He's still playing the game.
Look, you need to understand one thing that I am doing. Every point of feedback that I send to a person from their group or whatever online. Oh, I got followed by Jeff Gardner, too. He's the project lead. What's a project lead again? Is that the guy who leads the whole thing, or is that like an underling guy?
He's probably just involved with the overall project.
Yeah, so I got followed. He followed me. This guy followed me on Twitter. So this guy followed me, and I'm like, wow, I'm really getting engagement here. But one thing I am doing that's proper is I am going to their proper feedback. I'm submit a ticket is what it's called through the Bethesda website. You can do this for all their games. You can do it for Elder Scrolls Online.
They probably have a file of yours, Felix.
Right.
And when they go, oh, Felix Hergood submitted another ticket.
I submit to them, and every time I do it, it's feedback. It just goes in, and I get nothing back, and I don't really care to have anything back. But I submit something when I get like a bug or some fucked up thing or anything like that. I'll
tell you one thing.
Yeah.
What you're doing is what game developers want people to do.
Yeah.
You're being constructive and you're not being an asshole. I mean, like, I don't know what you write.
I'm really not being an asshole. I'm not.
But they want that.
I was like, please apologize to Todd Howard for the things you say.
Yeah. We'll say it on stream, but not in your feedback tickets.
Yeah. So I go and I submit the ticket, and I always lead the thing. This is hilarious. I'm paying. I start with. Just want to let you know I'm paying for Fallout first. On two consoles, you to know, on Xbox.
I'm a VIP times 2.
But I always lead with I'm playing it. I'm playing Fallout first. I'm a Fallout first member, and I'm playing the game on 2 consoles. Is always my first statement. Then I say,
dude, they're probably like, holy shit, this guy's the best tester we've ever had.
And then I submit the whole feedback thing, and I let it go. But then I also tweet it to now Jeff Gardner and fucking Pete Hines every single time. So hopefully I'm having an impact. But they did a double XP this weekend, so I did the whole weekend. But I had to put it down. I got so burned out.
All right. So what else did you want to talk about then?
Nothing else. I had a good time playing that.
Did you want to talk about State of Decay?
That's what I was just leading into. So the second thing that I did and the last thing Neo was involved in, and this is for anybody who is in the emergent gamer community who's listening to this, who's playing games on PC. There is one game that you can play with Felix Hergood on legitimately, and that's State of Decay 2. It's crossplay. It's legit crossplay. I mean, I guess I could do the Call of Duty thing too, couldn't I? Isn't that crossplay?
Yeah.
I could do
the crossplay.
I think I might do the Call of Duty thing just for the crossplay capability, so that I can play more with the community. I think I might.
Yeah, we actually have a bunch of people who are console players in our server, our Discord server, who just play on the console.
Oh, really? And
and
that's cool.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure. Yeah.
So I might do that. But State of Decay 2 is near my heart. The tutorial update that they've done, and I talked about this a little bit last week, didn't I, Trip Zero? I think I did.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
you were talking about some of the changes and stuff that the game went
I'll just
through
be real brief because I mentioned it.
Now.
I mentioned it on 244, but they completely revamped the full tutorial that you do, and gives you kind of like an edge, not really an edge, but gives you an explanation of like in menu mechanic shit that like people didn't know about until, you got to play the game for at least 10 hours before you can figure some of these things out. And what's really great is they put it in the tutorial. You start the game with this character that's already blood plagued. And what's really great is that character doesn't die. There's no option for that character to die because you can actually, through the tutorial, heal her of the blood plague, or him or her of the blood plague, which gets you set up. They set you up with an infirmary real quick. They show you how to make a workshop. There's a bunch of shit that they didn't do in the previous game, and it was a nightmare. But the one thing they did improve is they improved the ability to play the online multiplayer, and that's what Neo did. He was able to come in and join. You joined my game. You joined my game.
I did, yeah.
I did experience a few drops when I wasn't playing with you. Did we experience a drop?
No.
Okay,
we were
I got booted, I think, twice, and I played it for like 2 days, off stream and on stream.
The game's really fun, but as a guest in your world, it's just a shame there's like not much for me to do because you have all the management aspects that you need to take care of. Still.
Right. The disadvantage is
that doesn't carry over for me.
Yeah, because you're in my camp. You can't even look at my own camp statistics and my stuff.
Yeah, and I can't use your upgrades either, as we discovered when I got Blood Plague.
Yeah,
Remember?
That's what we discovered. You couldn't use, but I think that's because you hadn't upgraded it yet. I think that's what
Correct.
we determined.
Or, and I haven't been playing the game, so I just wanted to join you and just co-op with you.
I do know a couple things. When you leave and you come back after playing in someone else's world, they give you rewards, so you get like bonus stuff. So
cool.
The next time you're going to go into the game, you'll see a thing you played in Felix's world, and this is the reward you get. And they usually give you like a weapon, some supplies, like bandages or whatever, to get you up on your feet. And some influence. But that's nothing compared to what they could be giving you. Like the ability to use all of my resources that I built into my camp makes so much sense. Like I don't understand why you can't come up and use my plague cure station. Yeah, that's what we determined because Neo got the plague, but then he couldn't heal himself, which was, and I
couldn't use your therapy selection.
Yeah.
I couldn't do like blood therapy or whatever. What I did was I just developed a cure and then I just made the cure.
Right.
So that's what I
think unfortunately, I think what you'd have to do in that situation if you really wanted to use that character and really wanted to heal that character is you would have to leave my game, go back to your world, and use your own machine in order to heal the character, which is fucking, that's kind of stupid.
Well, no, I was able to use all my upgrades in your world on your medical bay. My upgrades were still there for me.
For clarity, what stage of the dreaded disease was your character at? Was your character on a countdown timer?
No.
Your character just had a little bit of the white bar coming over.
Yep.
Okay. And you couldn't use infection therapy at all. It wasn't available. That's weird. I don't know.
My game wouldn't run at all.
You're talking about like over a year ago.
Yeah.
2018 probably.
But that's the last experience that I have had with this game, so don't.
Yeah. And now in the game, it has the same share of critics that Fallout 76 has. I mean, it's the same. Why would I play a game that's broken when I can just play a game that's not broken? is the common statement. Uh-oh. Did I lose everybody? No.
No, we're here.
No.
So you're all froze for a second. But the stream quality's good. We're looking good.
It is.
I'm done.
You're looking great. You look good, dude.
So Trip, tell us
not to freak out when these things happen.
No, I didn't freak out.
Oh God, I lost everybody.
You just froze for a second. I was just trying to figure it out. Trip, so tell us all about the game that is on everybody's lips right now because they're all home playing.
I'm very excited to hear you talk about this. Please.
Oh, you mean Animal Crossing?
Yeah, dog.
Hey, how about this,
or
Trip?
Cat, or pig.
Trip,
whatever you are.
Trip. Sell me on it. Tell me why I would want to buy it.
Well, that's not my job here, Felix. My job is to tell you about the game, tell you about the experience that I've been having. You can make up your own mind whether or not you think it'd be right for you.
Yeah, right.
But it is a fantastic game for social distancing because there's a really good amount of just socialness to the game that works really, really well when you want to hang out with people and you really, really can't. And it's cute and fun, and it's very unstressful in a moment,
It seems very relevant, like a very much needed game. Right?
It's like the perfect game to drop kind of right now. Now this came out on Friday, so I've been playing every day since Friday. I've had a pretty consistent squad of friends, just playing every day, hopping into islands and stuff. The core concept of this game, Felix, is that you are a villager and you arrive somewhere in this town, right, of animals. This game takes place on an island. Everyone has their own little island, but other games have had your own little spaces, amidst the countryside or another town or something. You meet the leader of the community. His name is Tom Nook, and Tom Nook gives you your own place, your own house. You start with a tent to live in this one, right? He goes, "Here's your tent, bud. By the way, here's your bill. You're cool. You can use it all. Just pay me back." So what you do is you learn how to live this island life, and then also earn money to pay back Tom Nook for the things that he has so benevolently given to you to live on his deserted island. So
what a nice guy.
Yeah. So essentially what you do is you pay off your first house, for example. Then I'll say, "Oh, there's an expansion to your house. You want that?" Yeah, there you go. And then it's another, huge amount of money you have to kind of work on kind of chipping down. But in amidst all of these, just like new house, earn things, sell it for money kind of loop, there's other aspects of the game, and the game teaches you about how to kind of fold all of them into one experience as you go about, the main goal of like paying off your debts, which sounds like not the escape from reality that you'd think it'd be, but it works out pretty well.
How similar is this game to the Stardew Valley that you play?
So great question. There's similar vibes, and actually, me and my friends have been talking about some things that work better in Stardew versus some things that
was Stardew made in like a vacuum of them not having a new Animal Crossing, or
oh god, no. Stardew Valley is like the bottom of a funnel of like Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, like all kinds of farm games.
Its own genre.
They're in the same. They're in the same genre though.
Yeah, I mean it's like a life sim, farming sim kind of thing.
Okay.
You don't farm, right? Yeah, exactly. You don't farm as much in Animal Crossing as you do like collect and maybe harvest and fish and stuff like that. Everyone's island or space, whatever they start in, has a native fruit that you can harvest to either sell for yourself or give to your friends. So like for example, my island has cherries, and if I didn't have any friends, I wouldn't be able to get another kind of fruit as easily. There are mechanics to get different kind of fruits and random stuff, but the benefit of playing socially with people is that once you've unlocked enough of the game to have access to like there's a seaplane, there's a little airport that takes you to where you want to go. You can go to any of your Switch friends' island as long as they have it open to visitors. And when you go there, you can collect fruit right off of their trees. Maybe they have peaches, or maybe they have oranges or whatever. And then you can then take that home to your island and plant that, and that'll grow into a tree with that kind of fruit on it that you wouldn't have.
Does that ding them economically?
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to take that fruit because it's one,
You should explain the other mechanic of the game
per tree.
The time mechanic trip.
Yes, that's also a really good point. I'm glad you reminded me of that. The game is tied to real time, Felix. Right now on my island, it's 9:08 p.m.,
which is the time
it's raining.
We're recording this.
Yeah,
podcast.
and it's drizzling, which is the current weather
that's pretty fascinating.
where I'm at right now. So it's local to your weather, local to your time. Maybe a friend needs to find a special kind of fish that only appears during the rain. It's not raining in their part of the state or their part of the country. They can come to my island and it's
local
raining.
To your weather. Wow, how the fuck does it do that?
Wi-Fi.
Magic.
Wi-Fi. Huh.
The magic Wi-Fi.
Magic Wi-Fi.
Magic
which is
Wi-Fi.
Also considered magic to people who don't know what Wi-Fi is.
It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's fish that you can find and collect and donate to a museum, along with bugs and fossils you can dig up. There's always been a collecting element to this game because you can, of course, fish these things and sell them for money. But then the first time you get them, you can add them to like a collection in game. This game adds like a fantastically, beautifully designed museum, like a literal museum for all of this stuff. There's these fish, these insects, these fossils, and you can wander through entire exhibits full of all these animals in their native habitats. And the first day that we had access to this, me and a couple of friends literally just went through on a museum tour, just together in the game, walking through a museum, and it was the most fun, wholesome, like gaming moment. Some of the frustrations with the game do come with the fact that because it is real time, you are literally time gated by like construction projects that take a day, for example.
Oh, wow.
Right. Like Tom Nook will say, "Oh, cool, you did this thing. Now we're going to bring our friend, to build the museum," for example, before you actually had it. He doesn't show up until the next day. So you can't give him anything to donate. You can't get in there. You got to wait a literal day. You can skip ahead with the Switch's time. You can make the time the next day and have the thing happen.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Cheating people.
Yeah.
That was back in the GameCube days. People did that to like skip ahead, right?
Yeah,
I remember
and you can
hearing
still do that today.
So you just change
really a
the
personal
internal
thing.
clock. You change the internal clock of your Switch.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of doing that because while it's a little frustrating, it does kind of take away, I don't know, some of the slow burn fun of the game.
Oh,
you
I'd
know,
never
some
do
of
it.
the oh, you would never do it.
No, I would never do that. I would wait.
Right.
I would just. That's how I am with
Right,
every
because-
game I play.
When you are up against like the wall of, wow, I'm done doing things for today. There's tons of other things that you can do, and the pool of that gets bigger as you play the game and have more things accessible to you. Day one, it was brutal. It's like, well, what the fuck do? We can just fish and catch
Pick
bugs, I
bugs.
guess. There's literally nothing else to do. But like now, you know, I can visit islands. I can like try to collect other fruit. I can landscape. I can redirect my house. Like there's all these things that like expose themselves in layers over time that you kind of like rush through if you skip ahead, because you kind of bump into these things naturally and learn how they kind of apply to your game and your life. And then someone's end goal with the game, it's entirely personal. You know, like someone might want to collect all the interior decorating shit and upgrade their house and just like have an amazing interior space. Some person may want to like, you know, grow entire orchards full of every different kind of fruit from collecting all their friends' fruits. You know, like some may want to make a big whole beach outside area with bamboo trees, and like you can construct furniture and do all of this. Or someone may just want to collect all the bugs and fish. Like whatever your end goal is, the game is really just vibe it out. Like Tom Nook says to you, Tom Nook, the master of your debts, says to you, you can ask him repeatedly, what do I do now? What do I do now? And every time, you know, there's nothing to do, he'll go, I don't know, live your best life. And that's kind of the best way to like, wrap it all up in like a package.
Tom Nook just drinking that pina colada, wearing the island lei. He's just doing his thing, man.
He certainly is living his best life, dude. We're paying him so much fucking money for all of our homes and shit. So that man's making out.
So Tom Nook is basically a foreign investor.
Landlord, kinda
/ mayor / community leader.
He's a real estate king.
Real estate / angel investor / loan shark / bookie. Just all these things rolled into one. He doesn't break your legs. There's no time limit to paying off your dets, but
No violence.
you
You
can't do anything else until you're paid off. Right, exactly.
So I don't know. I've seen on Twitter that people have been constantly posting about this game. Like that's like literally out, like even more than Doom. Like we're gonna get to this soon, but like people have been talking about this game. There is a special tool. Have you played with this tool yet, where you can import your own images?
There's a design tool in this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only dabbled with it very, very lightly, but the amount of creativity that's come out of this thing, mind blowing. Felix, they give you like a pixel grid to draw on.
Yeah.
And they take the design of the pixel grid, they'll like blur the edges, make it look, you know, like match the in-game art style. You can literally design your own shirts, hats, clothing, pictures, floor, material. He'll make their own cobblestone paths. You can design the visual look of these things in the game and then put them in the game for yourself.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking at
like streamers are making their own logos, or you know, fans are making logos for them. I saw someone last night on Twitter, I was scrolling through, you know, those shirts you can buy on like the Wildwood Boardwalk that have like the airbrushed like super hot bodies, and you just wear a long white t-shirt and it looks like you're just like this cartoon like super fit person.
Yeah.
Someone made that into a dress in the game, so they're just running around with this like Wildwood Boardwalk bikini airbrushed babe kind of vibe.
That's cool.
Someone also put like big art pictures on their wall by like taking a larger image and splitting it up into a 3x3 grid using the Stream Deck tool that helps you put your own icons on your buttons.
Wow.
So they use that to plan out what the grids would be. Then they turn those into the pixel art and then imported them into the game and have this whole like 9-panel art piece on their wall.
That's insane.
It's like it's so cool. It's the coolest thing.
I mean, I've seen some pretty cool stuff.
I guess I'm not understanding one. So I'm seeing here in a video, it's showing like 500 different. They're called QR code designs.
The QR code is a way you can share your design really easily with people because there's integration with Nintendo's app as well.
So the minute
Switch.
you make something, you then share it, and it becomes a QR code that people can scan to get.
Right. You don't have to copy someone's pixel map. You can just share a QR code.
I pulled up how to do it as well. And yeah, and it looks like that's how people are getting their own designs into the game.
Yeah. And the Nintendo app integration with this is actually incredible. There's the Nintendo Switch Online app, right? And inside of Animal Crossing, you can do direct voice chatting with your best friends in the game through the app. And you can also go in there and you have a little Nook phone in the game, Felix. They give you it gives you a phone to use as like your main menu kind of thing, and there's little apps to download to your phone. But I can have some of those apps in real life right here on my phone, and I can actually like send people messages through this app into the game, which is great for me because when I'm streaming, I don't have access to the touch keyboard, so it's easier to type on my phone instead of using the in-game. You know, like you have to hit a shoulder button and use your like Joy-Con to like navigate to the letters. I can just type on my phone, and they can see that in the game immediately.
Wow.
The real world integration is kind of nuts.
That's pretty cool. I saw that in this video I was watching that they made all of the DC Comics costumes.
Oh yeah, dude. Think of anything at this point. Someone,
too, right?
Yeah, like Batman, Flash,
yeah, exactly.
Green Arrow, Robin.
Now
I'm literally on the download page right now.
Dude, I know you've been itching for a couple days already.
Hovering. I know.
Now, I'm going to be fair. There are a couple things that kind of blow with how the game works, especially when you decide to get social.
Lay it on me.
When people are visiting your island, there are certain things you can't do. You can't rearrange your furniture. You can't donate to the museum
When they're on my island.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that to
and there are even actually it might even be when your gates are open. So you have to go to your airport and say open my gates to allow visitors. And at that point, anyone on your friends list can hop in, right? But you have to turn that on. If you turn that feature on, essentially you open your island's gates. That puts you in like, I guess, whatever their multiplayer mode looks like. And there are certain actions that are locked down. So you can't construct things, you can't progress your story. So like if you have to talk to Tom Nook, for example, to be like, cool, I did the thing you wanted. Now what's next? Like, can I get my house upgrade? Can I do whatever? He's like, there are people here. We'll do it later. So it gets a little frustrating because you can't really like fully play your game if there are people there. You can still fish. You can still catch bugs. You can still sell things and buy things, but you can't, again, donate.
Is there some kind of like, do you think there's some kind of like limitation there because they're trying to stop people from some kind of fraud?
I don't know what that would be because I've tried to think about like why would these things be restricted and limited. There are already like exploits and bugs for making money and doing a whole bunch of things. I'm not gonna outline them here, but you can absolutely like kind of cheat in this game very easily without even needing online access or friends on your island. It's literally, it's slightly annoying because there are a lot of people that could be on my island or my friend's islands at the same time. Maybe I want to throw another chair down or like another thing for someone to sit on and have a fun little moment where we're all kind of chilling together around like a fire or whatever. I can't edit things. I can't make those changes while people are on my island.
Your island as it exists while people are there, like to preserve it almost.
Now, if you are best friends with someone, you can tag a friend a best friend in your Nook phone app. If they're best friends, they can do things like dig on your island and like drop things on your island. Which is like a step up. But beyond that, you're still kind of like limited,
Oh my god. That's cool. And that is still cool that you can still visit,
There was kind of an issue was if there are like disconnections, there are definitely minimal points the game saves while you're in this multiplayer mode. So at one point, me and some friends were on an island, and the person's island host, no, actually they're on my island, but they must have disconnected, and it kicked us all kind of back out to our own islands. And none of the stuff that we fished, collected, whatever, was on us when we got like kicked back to our island, essentially. So like the autosave also gets kind of weird or on a different level. It's all kind of unclear.
It sounds par for the course for how Nintendo's online infrastructure seems to function all the time.
Like pretty good. Like one cool idea, and then like, this is garbage. Why do you do this?
Well, like even like playing Smash Bros, which I do all the time. Like those games, like there's always constant issues and lag, and like I can't matchmake with a friend on their Switch if I want to play against random people online. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I can only create battle rooms and then invite friends via a code or something like really antiquated like that. Antiquated?
Yeah.
Thank you. But that just seems par for the course for how Nintendo treats their own online infrastructure. Also,
Right, exactly.
when they had their big like 20-minute direct for this, I guess I want to say like 3 weeks ago before the game came out, they talked about how the cloud save would work, which was a feature of their online multiplayer, and that was you would only be able to cloud save like once or with one file, and that was it, because they either don't want you to cheat, which you can't like reload saves if something happens, or that's their infrastructure set up for this game specifically. It's just fascinating to me that's how that goes with Nintendo. Yeah. But either way, it's pretty cool, and I think I might just do it. I looked at my buddy list, dude. 13 people are playing this game right now.
Oh yeah.
Everybody online is playing it, and I'm like,
I'm definitely not playing right now with the screen set up below my monitor.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I see you.
I don't believe you.
And people are just like, my gates are open. They're coming and going while I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
you joined the show and then just left yourself open to the world?
Yeah. Well, because there was one friend that hadn't gotten a chance to visit, and I told her, I was like, I'm gonna be live, but like the gates will be open, come through. And like now, like 3 different people have already just been in and out chilling, and it's dope. It's cool. It's fun.
It does sound fun. I guess should we transition into the news and then Animal Crossing news?
I think
so.
It's about.
Are we looking time wise? Give me a show. Show me.
Yeah. I think we're about it. I don't know where we are at 1:15. Oh my god.
Cool. Well,
we're on Corona time, dude.
We're doing it, man. I mean, what are people else gonna listen to? You know what I mean?
I agree.
So Animal Crossing's New Horizons sold a whopping 1.88 million copies in 3 days in Japan alone. So that's just Japan.
Yeesh.
And apparently it is one of the top selling Switch games currently. It has gotten past like Mario. Here, let me do Game Biz. I should have brought this up earlier. Game Biz. Okay. It is, it broke Pokemon's record. That's for sure. Crazy. Not only that, I'll bring up Doom as well. Doom has already outsold 2016 as well.
Doom Eternal is
Doom
on
Eternal.
Switch or no?
No, it's coming to Switch later. Not yet. But they both came out this past weekend, and they have both surpassed their sales. And I think this is obviously a side effect of everyone being quarantined, right? Or like people not going out.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to need things to do.
Absolutely. And oh my God, I am about to do this as well. I think I'm literally about to buy the game.
You're buy the game live on the show? I think we've all had moments where we've bought games live on the show.
Hey, that's a Felix thing.
That'd be fun to like.
That's a Felix move indeed.
That's a Felix thing. But I feel like I've done it too. No, I did. There was one, oh God, this is so long ago, but it'd be fun to like find these clips and like put them into some kind of massive collection, but it'd be so hard to root through. But I think there was a show where Snacks the Cat was on talking about Neo, and I bought Neo on Amazon.
I think you did.
As he was describing, as he was talking about it.
Like,
Neo, like the Souls-like game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
He literally sold me on it.
I'm not even sure if I remember.
I never played it.
I'm not even sure if I remember how many times I did that.
Like, You've done it. I know you did it for like Death Stranding. You did it for.
Yeah, and I played that.
You did. Yeah, you did. You did. Oh, we didn't even get to talk about Death Stranding because you've been playing that as well.
I did it. Yeah, I did it last week a little bit before Animal Crossing came out. I enjoyed
watching you play that for sure.
That game's fucked, dude. I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, I can't wait till you get there, buddy. I can't wait.
There was I mean, it was like the story section, like story finally happened where I'm at, which is why I watched like half the time I was just watching movies.
Maybe I'll continue.
Got to Hartman's lab. What's her name? Mama's character. We learned about more of her backstory and other connections and things like that. And it's wild, dude.
I need to play other things until Wastelanders comes out. So.
I don't want to spoil Death Stranding because a lot of people haven't played it yet, and it's coming out on PC. People are waiting for that experience. But I do want to say that one of the things that I saw that I got to the moment in the game was the first moment we ever saw of Death Stranding, which was that segment with Guillermo del Toro with the baby, and there's like a weird World War I scene going on, and then there's like these skeleton soldiers walking around, and Mads Mikkelsen comes walking out of the tar tunnel with the baby doll, and I'm watching this and I'm like, dude, like, wow, okay, cool. But to me, I'm like, this is a trailer. This is a trailer. But no,
in the
all that
middle of the
shit,
game. Yeah.
all that shit is diegetic. That shit is all happening for real in the game.
And it's like a whole
Um,
segment of the game too.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
whole section.
And like it makes sense to me, and it doesn't all at the same time. And I'm just like, dude, fucking wow. Like literally, they didn't make that up to sell the game or like to start painting the picture of the concept. They chopped it out. It wasn't even changed when I got there. Like that was complete. That
Mhm.
section was done years ago.
Oh, and there's a lot more too that you're about to see because you're going to see
man.
all of the footage in context. I guess you could say, quote, context.
You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is going to be really interesting if you get back to it, if you get off the island.
Did you complete
Hartman's
that
lab
full
scene
game?
was also trippy as shit, dude. That
Say
was
what?
wild.
Did you complete that full game, Neo? All of
Death Stranding, yeah.
Stranding?
Oh yeah. I rolled credits on that bad boy, and then I rolled credits a second time because that's how Kojima games work.
Right.
You would understand. You'll understand when you get there.
I know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Going along more numbers, I'm just gonna list off some. I'm back on the news.
Sure,
John.
go for it.
Half-Life Alyx on launch day reached 43,000 concurrent users
Sheesh.
for a VR game. That's what you have to keep in mind because that hardware,
I know that doesn't sell that much
higher point of entry, I guess you could say.
because it's the hardware and the game and the rig to run it.
Correct, exactly. And I was one of those people because I was playing it on Monday.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's quite fascinating how everyone has so much more time to play games, and it's just making that. These companies must be at a point where like, wow, this could not have happened. Like, okay, I'm not gonna say it like that. This is
say
very
it like
good.
that because they're all going cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah, this is very good for our numbers, I guess you could say. I think it's absolutely fascinating that these games have been causing people to play more games, especially Animal Crossing being the game that it is, and it's like fascinating that it's also increasing Switch sales because apparently Switch sales have increased as well.
Kevin Oates was saying that if you can't get a Switch because they're sold out in a lot of places, they're going for like over $400 on eBay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I saw they
Wow.
were like high on Amazon. I was like, oh,
Also,
that's
take
so
care of your Switches because all of North America's repair centers are shut down.
It's a good point.
So be
But
very
you know
careful.
Who
with them.
wasn't shut down until about a day ago?
Oh, I know. I remember
GameStop.
our good old
Because
fucky friends.
Was that a
GameStop, dude.
segue? Was that a
That was
segue?
was that a good segue?
It's a great
That was
segue.
pretty good.
Thick segue.
So this is after last week, GameStop refused to shut down their stores in wake of all other retail services shutting down, because they felt like they were essential services. This is something that they
God,
said.
dude.
In the article that I provided for us, in the Kotaku article that I have here, they have a letter that actually details what they want. This is a letter that they sent to all associates, and they talked about how they're switching to a delivery at the door system, so people can pick up their games at the door instead of coming inside, which is not better because you're still making your employees come into your store.
And you're making people leave their homes.
leave their homes. Yeah. Apparently, they asked employees to be responsible for talking to the police if they showed up and asking them why they stayed open. Like shit like that. Like
GameStop can't fail fast enough. If
They
I may
really-
interject
they
a
really
personal
can't.
opinion.
They're basically they're that dude who's like playing an artist's music live, and they're just waiting for the cease and desist letter.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's
You
one
know
way to
what
put it.
You're not
If,
supposed to be playing the
if-
Michael Jackson live like that, man.
Yeah, but if it's also like if listening to that song, gave you a viral infection that has no cure right now.
Right.
They're also doing that.
I mean, Michael
maybe
Jackson.
don't.
Michael
Maybe
Jackson
fucking
did give people dance fever. I mean,
Stop it. Oh God, I'm touching my face. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Yeah, so one thing I wanted to add to the story, which was fully disturbing, they made sure to stay open for the release of Doom and Animal Crossing. And in
course
fact,
they
they actually split the release because they were both supposed to be on Friday. But Doom they ended up pushing to Thursday, and then Friday was Animal Crossing. So hey man, they managed to stay open for that reason alone. But even if I was going to buy these games on launch day, I would not go to a GameStop. I would not give them the satisfaction of that business.
I mean, they're scared because there's a good chance that based on trends this year, they would have been out of business alone.
Yep.
Let alone
Their stock is taking a nosedive, and was before this whole pandemic.
So it's just, I mean, it would 1,000% have been the nail in the coffin, and still could be, but they're hanging on to hope as best they can, including like literally violating multiple different state orders depending on where these shops are physically located.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's
shitty because they're putting like a lot of people that make decisions in the country doing right now, putting profits and economic decisions over the lives and health of people, and that's just it's fucked up, honestly, and they should all be held accountable. But especially with a company that has such a bad track record already of caring for their employees, providing fair business to customers and just anyone that they consider part of their their market. It's bad look after bad look, and I can't believe they're still alive as a company. It's nuts to me, dude.
Depending on how long this whole pandemic goes on for, we could very well see GameStops just fizzle out in existence. And it's a shame too, because Reggie Fils-Aimé, formerly of Nintendo of America, it took a seat on the board.
He's on the board.
Like a month ago. Yeah.
It's not a shame. He'll be fine. And it's not his ship to save, No,
definitely not. But I feel like he's, from what I know of him in his Nintendo days, like he's a very positive guy. And I would love to see him right the ship, but I really doubt that we're gonna.
I don't want to see him right that ship. I want to hear him say, "Well, whoops, I was bored in retirement. I made the wrong decision. I'm getting the fuck out of here," and then let them sink.
Yeah, you could very well see that. Yeah, but so that's where we're at games wise, and I needed to point that out because I used to work at GameStop, and I can wholly tell you that they fucking don't give a shit about you as an employee,
dude. Exactly. I don't want to. I obviously we knew that. I didn't want to call that out if you weren't.
Oh no, I've talked about it before,
again.
Working there.
Yeah, and it's always it should always be your call in situations like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like, and you know firsthand.
I would
how they treat people.
I'll give you a little glimpse of my time working there. I would work past clock out point to set up store refreshes for like displays and stuff.
Sure.
And because we had to get it done, but corporate wouldn't give our store the hours to do it. And there are multiple times where you would just be alone in the store because we just didn't have the hours to spare for that. So there were times where I wouldn't be able to finish store refreshes and marketing because I'm alone in the store with a busy store. I would tell the district manager when he would visit, and he's like, "Oh, don't tell me that, but you just got to get it done. But don't tell me that because I can't know that you've been working off the clock." Like because I was a manager of one of the stores. Like, yeah, it was bullshit. It was absolutely.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't tell me that," but
I won't fix your shitty situation, but also don't tell me that.
Because I can't know that you're working off the clock. That's like against policy, right? Like that's like it's madness. It's madness.
Yeah, it's like that's a weird catch-22. They want you to get it done, but at the same time, they don't want you to be there to get. They
don't give you the resources to get it done.
Right.
So, and not only that, speaking of this COVID situation with GameStop, they weren't able to provide stores with the cleaning supplies to clean their store.
Yeah, I heard that
too. And I don't know if you know GameStops; those are germ-infested nightmares because people are touching boxes, they're touching everything.
I mean,
they have
any retail,
multiple displays.
It's gonna be fucking gross.
It's a nightmare.
Good.
So, close down GameStop for now. Save
for people, and also forever.
Close it
forever,
down, dude.
Forever. Anyway, what other news we got here? I don't have a good. Oh yeah, Doom had great sales, had the best opening sales weekend ever. Yeah, as we talked about that. Half-Life Alyx is going to open doors for more Half-Life. I think that's it. I think that's the news, guys. That's all I got.
How do you guys get numbers for concurrent players of games? Where do you guys normally go? What's the
GamesIndustry.biz will report on it, but Steam actually has metrics that you can look up. You can look up Steam.
Is it like their API? Because it's a third-party website that people use for Steam.
I think it's a third-party one. Yeah.
Yeah. SteamTracker.com or something like that.
I randomly typed in like Fallout 76 concurrent players, player count.
Here,
And I got this thing called playercounter.com. I don't know if this website is fucking. It's got a lot of ads.
so if you go to store.steampowered.com/stats,
But that's only
they
gonna,
actually
that's only going to talk. Is that going to talk about consoles?
it's just Steam. This
Yeah,
is
it's
just for Steam. They show you concurrent numbers and how it peaks and what games are being played by the day total and current players total.
Got it.
So like right now, currently the most played game on Steam is Counter-Strike Global Offensive, then Dota, then Rainbow Six Siege, and then it goes down.
What does it say for Fallout 76 PC? I'm just curious.
Not even on Steam.
Not even.
Not even on
Zero
it.
players.
And I can. Yeah, here, I'm gonna.
It's got to be zero. If you're not seeing it, it's got to be zero, right?
So Fallout 4 is at 1,500. No, New Vegas is at 5,000. So 76 is. It's not even on Steam. I don't even think it's on Steam.
And they're like, why are we tracking this?
Oh, it's not a game that you can get through Steam. You got to use their own launcher.
Their launcher, yeah.
Is that another reason why a lot of companies use their own launcher so that people can't see the concurrent numbers?
Well, for sure. That's definitely a reason of that.
We've never
because
talked
they
about that.
control their own metrics.
I don't think. Yeah.
Well, it was going on during like all the Epic launcher debacle because they were trying to wean people into their market, right? They use their launcher as their own storefront by buying exclusivity for these games on their store, like Control and Borderlands 3 had like a 6-month exclusivity period.
Mm-hmm.
They do that. They control the metrics. They have those data for the developers, and they can provide that for the
Epic
developers.
not provide it to the player base?
No, they provide whatever they want to tell us. Xbox
Yeah,
does
it's
the
really
same
up to
thing.
So
the
Steam is cooler because
them.
they tell the players how many people are currently playing a game.
Valve's just got a different mindset. They have a different company mindset, right?
Yeah.
For example, I'll give you another example. PlayStation every month they release their numbers of games sold. They give their numbers of consoles sold, but Xbox hasn't done that since 2013. Probably because their numbers aren't lining up with Sony's, and they don't want to look
Bad.
like they're selling less, like hardware,
Exactly.
right? So we don't specifically know the exact amount of numbers of Xboxes, which is fascinating.
But we know it's fucking lower.
We can assume.
We can assume
That's
it's
all we
lower.
can do. But more or less, that's where we're at right now, guys. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be playing video games and stuff for the next foreseeable future, huh?
Yes, we are.
Not leaving.
Get ready.
Yeah, I mean, I can only branch out until the Wastelanders content comes out, which is on the 7th of April. So that's right around the corner. So for the but I will not play Fallout until it comes out.
I would save. I wouldn't try and burn out on it until then. You know what I mean? I would try and like hold until the expansion comes out. Unless you got shit to do in the game, I'm not going to stop you. I'm just saying. That's what I would do.
You were saying hold off. That's what you're saying.
Hold off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Like I'm burned
cool.
out. I can't play the game. I won't fucking touch it. I'm gonna play.
I'm buying Animal Crossing right now.
I'm gonna play State of Decay.
He's doing it.
I'm gonna play State of Decay. I'm gonna play Breath of the Wild still, and I probably should look at something else. I don't know, some other game. Not
Breath of the Wild's a good choice. That's a good good game to play right now.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the Fallout 76 people in to watch it because they want to watch the Fallout grind. Most of the people who have come in like my stream because I'm free. I freely play with people. You know what I mean? Like people come in and they go, "Hey, can I play with you?" And then they join me, give me weapons, or we trade resources or whatever.
You won't be able to get everyone in for every stream.
No,
Still playing-
but like
oh,
the
yeah.
concept of me being interactive, that intense interaction that people do, brings people in. So like I hope they come
for
to
sure.
watch me just play a game. We'll find out.
So funny enough, that happens to me when I stream Monster Hunter. I
Right.
get people who come in who want to watch Monster Hunter and then go, "Hey man, can I join you?" PS4.
Mhm.
PS4?
People really get off on
Right,
a
exactly.
couple of concepts. One, joining you and playing with you while you're live,
Mhm.
and so people can hear them and see them or whatever. And then also providing you resources so they can look magnanimous to
Right.
your public, which is a really, really cool concept because it benefits me in the game. You know what I mean? It was so weird. We were playing. Oh, I was with Neo in State of Decay 2.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Neo? That guy
Yep.
came in, Disrupt. His name was Disrupt.
Oh, he was just a random guy.
Yeah,
And
his
he
name
totally
was
disrupted us.
Disrupt, but he didn't disrupt shit. He came in and just gave us
He didn't
all these
disrupt
resources.
shit.
Like he was just like, yeah, man, And then he goes, I gotta get off now. Do you think that's enough to get you up and running? I was like, yeah.
Bro, you
Like,
totally hooked it up.
He
You hooked it
gave
up.
us guns that won't break down. I think they were illegally modded. And I go, am I gonna get banned? And he goes, don't worry, you won't get banned. I was like,
He
okay.
This stuff
did
is
not
clean.
say the word no.
This stuff is
Don't
clean,
worry.
y'all.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
fucking worry
Don't
about
worry
it.
about it.
Don't
fucking
ask where I got these.
Don't
Fell
ask
off a
that
truck.
question. Don't ask
Yeah.
that question. Just enjoy it while it lasts.
They fell off a truck. Don't ask.
Just fell off a truck.
Oh man. Well, guys,
Anyway,
I think it's been a
I think
beautiful show.
it's been great show. It's gonna be this kind of vibe, just chilling, talking about what's going on, keeping people updated, talking about probably ourselves. I think more than maybe like the news things, because I mean,
Yeah.
what's gonna get us through this is like, connecting and reaching out. I don't know about you guys, but I've spent a lot of time with a lot of different people, like FaceTiming, Skyping, Discording, Zooming, whatever people
Me
are comfortable
too.
with, app-wise, and like just
I
hanging
got my
out,
dad to download
drinking,
Discord.
doing whatever, chilling, gaming. Yeah.
I got my dad to download Discord. I was like, Dad, we could make a family-wide Discord server that's just us, and we can all chat and talk and video
Your own
call
little
each other.
personal social
I did my
networks.
first FaceTime group call. That is weird. Do you ever do a
Oh, yeah.
FaceTime group call?
Never a group call, just a one-on-one.
Yeah, when you start talking, your square to other people starts to get bigger and balloon in the screen. And then when you stop talking, you get smaller, and someone else who's talking gets bigger. Like, it's really cool.
That's in Apple fashion, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
They do
Very
that. They
Apple.
do that design very beautifully.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Anyway, guys, you ready to sign out of this?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Get back to our lives in isolation?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
All right, I've been Neo Ayoshi. You can find me at Twitter at Neo_Ayoshi, Twitch at twitch.tv/Neo Ayoshi. You can find me playing Monster Hunter and Half-Life Alyx, and which I streamed very successfully, by the way. I think it worked out. I used your lav mic, Felix. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Worked out pretty well. I think it did. And I'll be playing any other new releases I feel like playing, because I got Doom and I got all this other stuff. So cool, guys. Just catch me there.
Nice. I am Trip0. You guys can find me on mixer.com/Trip0TV. All of my socials are also Trip0TV. So I'm very, very easy to find. I stream Mondays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we've been doing Animal Crossing. Probably still going to do Animal Crossing, but we're definitely going to like flex out to other games. I played a lot of Destiny over the years, and I still love Destiny, but it's in a space right now where we don't need to be there every day. And so we're going to have fun kind of bopping around and seeing what else is out there, playing some other cool experiences. So follow me and follow the socials and just see what's going on. It's going to be a fun adventure in 2020.
Yeah, and I'm Felix Sargood. That's how you spell my name. And you will catch me on Twitch and Mixer. I primarily play Fallout 76, but I'm also playing State of Decay 2 now, and I'm probably going to branch out until at least the 7th of April into a bunch of different assorted games. I don't know what I'm going to be playing. But I have a lot of free time off, and generally when I stream, it's from early in the morning to 8-ish in the morning to the afternoon. So please, Eastern. So join me if you can. So
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next
We'll
week.
see you guys next week. Later.